Okay, then let's just make this review of it as quickly as we possibly can. Yes, this is me, the Angry Anime Fan, the Despair Reviewer, although I'm mostly a review Eden Zero now. But I'm only reviewing this One Piece chapter because I reviewed last time and it was left on a very frustrating cliffhanger that unfortunately we just have to address it here, even though I hate it. And I'll just go very straight up and saying, yes, this Kurosumi... sorry. Actually... This Oden was not the real Oden. No, it was indeed Kurosumi Kanjuro's creation that he intends to do that. But it's Ashura that manages to see through it all. He intended to trick them all and then kill him like that. Oh, Kanjuro. Although you really I have to congratulate you with it. You really are making good on making them as lawful as possible. Because honestly, everything about Kanjuro now is annoying. Every single thing. It's also to the point of ungratefulness. Everything he is just doing. Now he's even going to proclaim he's going to kill Momonosuke and everything else. It's just so... After everything he has been giving, he is just doing this kind of mockery. It is honestly making me want to vomit. But it makes sense at the same time. Either way, it was Ashura who managed to figure out there was a clone of it all, because now it turns out this painting can do always just that. But before everything else, it seems that the painting just puts out a bomb and intends to blow it all. But Ashura throws himself at the painting, and well, it explodes, possibly taking Ashura with him, although it's not exactly known if that is the case. Granted, this is Act 3, so we had to have tragedy. Isn't that right? I hate this Act 3. Where is the tragedy already? So we can move on from it and have hope. I need hope. I am tired of just seeing this despair all the time. And also, I do not condone the scabbards for Kiku for not piercing through Kanjuro hard enough. After all, for all of Kanjuro's faults, for everything else, it doesn't change that to the 9 red scabbards, he was a comrade until now. So you cannot blame them for not being able to give a complete death blow to Kanjuro. Kanjuro is just that much of a scum. He knew they would do it, so they couldn't just do it. Also, the chapter finally confirms it. Yes, unfortunately, although at the same time it just had to be that way, Orochi is alive. Yeah, well, we never assumed he was dead through that slash. Of course, it is not confirmed on how he's alive. But given everything we have seen, it must be related to his mythical devil fruit. I mean, hell, it's a mythical devil fruit! So it must be related to that. And he's gonna burn down Onigashima while being his arrogant self. And yes, Fukushiro is with him because after all, he seems to be loyal to, well, Orochi. Yes, seeing these Kurosumis just makes me want to vomit. And I do not mean that in a positive way. Granted, vomiting is never positive, but what I mean by that is that there is always some villains you create to be despised. There's always some villains you create to be awesome. And then there's some villains you create to be hated. The Kurosumis are not awesome, but being hated and despised is not the only thing about them. It's annoying. Just seeing them is annoying. And just Uda, increase the pace already so they can get what they deserve. Because the thing is, strangely, I do not think the Kurosumis are going to die. Yes, it would be very fitting for them to die. But if you think about them, at this point, death is almost too good for them. And now Orochi thinks arrogantly that he can burn down Onigashima, taking everyone, including Kaido, with him. Oh, his arrogance and extreme annoyance is just so laughable. Do you really think a piece of fire can defeat a dragon? And also, it's the fact that back on the Yamamoto thing, Yamamoto is mentioned that Yamamoto wants to join the roof as Oden. Just make up your identity already. And also, it's very implied that Momonosuke can control his dragon power a little bit more. And Yamamoto confirms that Yamamoto feels that the power is very similar to Yamamoto's father. So, therefore, of course, it's not exactly known if Yamamoto can help Momonosuke with that thing, especially since that Momo just wished that he was a terrifying dragon so he could aid Luffy. Because his, identity haki is now so strong that he can actually sense that Luffy is struggling and wounded, but he's alive. And so we go back to the roof where Luffy is being thrown around again and again and again. But unlike before, this is no despair moment. Now, this is just simply comical. He's being charged and then thrown back, charged and then thrown back. And every single time he just says that they're human, they're definitely feeling it. While Killer is the one who's pointing out, how can you even call these guys humans? Well, that's Luffy for you. I don't condone him for that. That is Luffy. He never loses his spirit. Well, that is not true. He has lost his spirit. But what I mean is, he charges blindly into an attack. And while luck has always saved him, it is worth noting that eventually he does pull through. He's doing the same to this Yonko. Is that the right thing to do? I want it to be the right thing! Because we need for once to show that this Yonko can be defeated as well. So, well, either way, at last, the team members say that it's time we need to split them up. Facing these two is just a pain, as Luffy says. I've been held back. If that's true, I guess I've been held back. Because facing these two is just hell. Of course, he's saying there's been hell too many times. As we see Kaido in his, hybrid form, and it looks extremely unimpressive. The best way to describe it is it's basically just Kaido's build with more fish scales or dragonfish scales on his body and an extra horn from his other horns. It's basically like that. Oh, maybe his mustache got a little longer. Either way, their eyes lock, as Kaido just says that your eyes never seem to lose their fire. And it seems that he is impressed by that, because no matter how many times Luffy is being thrown aside or being defeated and blah, 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 he never wavers. And that is Luffy. He is not supposed to waver. Not against some guy like these. But yeah, they will have to split up Big Mom and Kaido. Can they do it? I don't know. We're still in Act 3! So, I didn't even give any warning that I was gonna scream this chapter. But yeah, do not, unless next week's chapter is some kind of big change, do not expect me to review it, because this chapter just immensely pissed me off. But you go ahead and see what you want to say.